Well, hello. Hi. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Tiffany. If you're new here, I'm a certified history teacher, an adjunct professor in a teacher education department, and I'm a grad student again. Yes, postdoc, I am finishing a second master's degree. Long story for another day. If you're curious about that, leave me a comment. We can talk about it somewhere else. But here in this vlog, all of my interdisciplinary roles kind of intersect. So I thought you might find that interesting. Here I am wrapping up annotations for my thesis research. It's a 200-page book written by a female abolitionist, Lydia Mariah Child. Those annotations are a small part of only one of the 5 chapters of my thesis, but finding the right pieces to include, especially after writing a dissertation that I had years to focus on and was almost 300 pages, it's a lot to think, okay, what is absolutely the most essential, and thinking of the thesis as unfinished in a sense, as something that you could build on as a bigger body of work. Anyway, here we are on the next day, and I'm actually not in my grad student role anymore. I have put on my professor hat. So, a couple years ago, in addition to teaching high school, I started teaching as an adjunct professor in a local community college's teacher education department, and I absolutely adore this work. My students are so diverse in where they are academically. Some of my students have doctorates. Some of them have had 20 years in a whole different career field, and now they're coming into teaching. Some of my students are fresh out of high school or parents who stayed home with their children for many years. Or I also have students who had full teaching careers in another country, and now they're trying to meet the requirements in the US to continue teaching. So it's a really diverse and interesting group that I get to work with. Here, I am actually mapping out the pacing for the final course that I teach this semester. So each semester, I have been fortunate enough to be able to teach 3 or 4 sections. And the 3 that I teach consistently are actually fast paced. And so instead of teaching them all together, I teach one, finish one, start one, finish one, start one, finish one. And I am mapping out the pacing for the third and final one for the spring 2026 semester here. I have been mapping and pacing on paper since I first became a teacher. I prefer it. It's a very basic, loose plan. And then I will go in and do things digitally after I have wrapped my head around things on actual paper. It just works better for me that way personally. We meet twice a week in this class over Zoom for just a little over 2 hours. And there's absolutely no way you would catch me lecturing for that long every single one of these. Absolutely not. So the color coding here are the big essays that they have too in this course, the independent assignments, and then I'm also marking out the collaborative assignments that we do in every class period, which helps me with planning my lectures each week. Once I have a plan, I populate those due dates into Canvas and let it run and do its thing. And that's my course setup. I'm one of those people who cannot work when my space is a mess. And my space is a little bit of a mess right now. So I have a few book videos planned, women's history, women's historians, historical fiction centering women, like all these things. And I pulled all the books for these videos. And then I realized in my head that the timeline just doesn't work for when I wanted to get those filmed because I have too many other things going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to log what books I had And then I'm going to put them back on my shelves so that my floor is clean. And then I'm going to film those videos in May, I think, because at that point my master's thesis will be done. I'll be wrapping up this final course that I'm teaching at the college for the semester in early May. And so I'll just have more time. So I think that will make the video a little bit more meaningful. So if you want to hang out with me, I'm going to clean up. And then today I need to do some admin stuff. I have some emails that I absolutely need to get sent for work and other things. And then I am going to write after that. And I also need to send my beginning of the week announcement to my students. So let me actually scoot you back. And yeah, let's clean. That made me feel sort of better, I guess. I have a really hard time getting work done when everything around me feels like a task. So we also have a golden retriever, which means you kind of constantly have to stay on that. Like if I don't vacuum the downstairs area specifically, like every other day, can get really bad. I do have two big kids, but I also have a toddler. My oldest and my youngest have a 12-year age gap. So because he's a toddler, he's constantly playing on the floor and picking things up. So it's really important that we stay on top of that. We have a Roomba for like maintenance, but it just is not sufficient for a golden retriever. I'm going to be so honest with you. Anyway, so that's done. There are some things that I would like to do that I'll work on another time, but I am going to pull you a little bit closer because wow, you're really far away, friends. Come hang out with me. Wow. There we go. Hello, welcome. So goal for today, emails and announcement for my courses, and then I need to get into writing. So I am in chapter 3 of my master's thesis, and the primary source for that is Lydia Maria Child's An Appeal in Favor of That Class Called Africans. This on its own is just over 200 pages, but obviously triangulation is really important. So you want to make sure you're pulling in other sources and other perspectives to kind of round that out, at least for the argument that I'm making. So I also need to pull in some letters from her, letters from people that she was in communication with, if I can find the other sides of those communications. I have a couple that are useful for that. And then some congressional hearing transcripts. So it's a hefty task. The challenge is pulling only what I need from that because this is a smaller project. It is for the purposes of graduation at this point. So what do I absolutely need from these over 200 pages, plus the sources I'm using to triangulate what I'm saying was happening in that moment, what she was doing, the impact she had through her connections. What do I absolutely have to have for this to make that argument? So chapter 3 is hefty. My goal is to finish chapter 3. I'm almost done with it. And draft chapter 4, hopefully finish it by Wednesday. Today's Monday. Because I have a lot of pieces for chapter 4 ready to go. So it won't be a finished draft, but it will be a draft. And again, these are much shorter than what I did for my dissertation. So that is a possibility if I can lock in and focus. I do teach on Tuesdays, so that takes a chunk of my time on that day, and I have to get some grading done. But other than that, I should be able to sit and focus. I hope. My workout's already done. I've done some cleaning. I'll work for a bit. I'll do the dishes and then I'll work for a bit. I have to go pick the big kid up from school in a few hours. So that's the day if you want to hang out. This is my perfect scenario to want to crawl back in the bed and just go to sleep. I planned to pick up my camera and film yesterday, and then I just didn't. I don't know. I'm in this weird space with all of my tasks where I'm grateful to have them. I'm grateful to be doing them. I still care about everything, but I feel like I'm just kind of going through the motions a little bit at this point. And I think that's normal, and I think that's okay. Like, you can love your work, you can love what you do, love your research, all of those things, and still get to a point sometimes where it's just like, you know what, this just has to get done. I'm just kind of going through the motions, and that is kind of where I'm at right now. It's not that I'm letting things slip. I'm just not as excited as maybe I am at other times. Yeah, so I have the option to submit. Was this piece of hair curly? I don't even know what. Anyway, I have an option to submit a third draft tonight, and I think I'm going to take advantage of that. So I definitely want more of chapter 4 fleshed out before I do that, so that there's a significant addition. I did add several parts to chapter 3 to finish that since the last time I submitted this for feedback, but I want to really expand chapter 4 between now and like midnight, hopefully long before then. So this will be a busy one tonight. Okay, 5 minutes, and today is a teaching day. Time to teach. I came and got my book, and I put it somewhere because I was like, I'm going to review this. Found it. I've got 5 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and open the Zoom. I'm going to go ahead and fix the settings. So I go to Host Tools and into Participants. Set it to where they can rename themselves. Go to Advanced, where they can share their screen for the group assignment with the book, the first little section of the book. Share my screen. Bloop, bloop. We're going to go ahead and copy the attendance link. Welcome. Please complete the attendance form and that link. So that's already in the chat and ready to go. Copy, so I can do it multiple times. That is done. Time to go. I am rather superstitious about these things, so I haven't said anything yet, but I have a second round job interview today. This is the fit. Nothing too intense. This position is for teaching history. So in addition to my adjunct positions in education at the one college, I would be working at another college teaching history. One is dual enrollment, but I'm hired through the college for high school students, and the other would just be a typical history course. So yeah, hopefully this goes well. If it doesn't, you'll never see this footage. But anyway, interview fit.
I thought it was easy, yeah, back then, but when I think of it, it really was the